Tutors would like to move seats. If everyone sit up nice and straight, please. Good morning, Yellow Faculty. This morning's assembly will be given by Mr. Mallin.
Good morning, Yellow Faculty. Okay, as you can see, the title for our assembly today is Challenge. Put your hands up if you challenge yourself regularly. Lowest number across the school in the faculty, I have to say. Hang on, let's see. One or two more creep up. See a smile on each other's face. One, Billy. Stand up if that's true. If you really believe that you challenge yourself on a regular basis, stand up. Okay. Go to the back for me. Go to the back, go to the back. Go to back, 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 go to back, go to back. Good. Go to back. Go to back. Just have a quick look at the number. And we've got. Okay. Is that the biggest number all week, sir? 13 I've counted. Okay. Now, has everybody seen that show, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here? Okay. Well, that group there are now going to go and do their Bush Tucker challenge. They've told us that they challenge themselves regularly, so I'm going to throw the gauntlet down to them today. They're going to leave assembly, and she does this to me every day. I'm hoping she's going to be through that door in a second. We're going to have somebody who's going to lead them on a challenge, and at the end they're going to come back and they're going to show us what the challenge was. So if you'd like to go with Sir now and enjoy the challenge, we'll see you a little bit later on. Okay, everybody else looking this way, please. Let's get ourselves refocused. So today's assembly is all about challenge. And they've gone to take the assembly challenge, and I'm sure they'll do very well. But life is one big challenge. Throughout life, we're going to be faced with challenges, all different types of challenges. And it's going to be how we deal with them over time that is going to be the true test of who you are. Life's not designed to be smooth. It's designed to be challenging, to challenge us. And we can classify people into two groups with regards to how they approach their lives. We've got group one. Group one, they wake up each day, somebody comes and takes the duvet off, helps them out of bed, they glide downstairs, they don't walk downstairs, they glide downstairs. They go down, the breakfast is all laid out for them, somebody cuts up their food, feeds them their food, might even chew it for them and then pass it over to them. And they have a really smooth life. Really nice life. Everything just falls in. It just ticks over nicely for them. Well, that's what they think. That's what they hope. Then we've got group two. Group two, they're more realistic. Group two, they realise realise that things at times might get difficult, might be hard, but they realise that they've got to continuously keep trying and trying new ways to overcome those challenges. Put your hand up if you think Group 1 people are going to be the most successful in life. Put your hand up if you think it's Group 2. If you haven't got your hand up, I'm going to pick on you and ask why. Okay, but I'd agree. Group 2 people are, of course, going to be the most successful because they're realistic people. They realise that hopefully most things will go right for them, but at some stage or other, they're going to have to adapt. They're going to have to take a challenge, face it down, and find a way to overcome it. I've got 2 examples here that I'm going to show you of 2 people that have had challenges in their lives. I'm going to talk about how they overcome those challenges. So this first young man brought a tear to my eye when I read this, I must admit. I don't often admit that, but this one did. This is little Lennox. He lives in an African country. And unfortunately for him, he lost his parents at a very, very young age. And unlike here in the UK, God forbid that ever happened, but if it did, we have social services, we have care systems, we have fostering, etc., where people would be given help and support. But where he lives, it didn't. Mum and Dad weren't there to look after him anymore. He had to look after himself. So he was living on the streets from a really young age, around about 5 years old. Every day trying to find enough to eat, enough to keep warm, stay away from other people that might want to take his things away from him or harm him. Every night try and find somewhere to sleep and hope that whilst he was asleep, nobody was going to come and try and harm him. And each day, day after day, that was his life. Now, fortunately enough for him, there were people called street workers. And the street workers tried to get kids to centres to see if they can help them. And at first he was very reluctant, didn't want any help at all. And then at such a young age, he obviously thought to himself, I need a bit of help. So he started to go there. And very quickly they realised they had a genius on their hands. He was by far one of the most academically bright children that they had seen ever come through their doors. And so they started to work with him. And he eventually came round to accept their help, and he started to study really hard. And through that, he then got a place at a government school, and his life changed dramatically. A bit like a boarding school in the UK. So he now had a place to sleep, a housemaster to look after him, 3 or 4 meals per day, books, a uniform, and he was able to study. And so he changed his life by adapting to his circumstances and accepting help. Now, the last part of the story, he's up to around about year 10 now, and he's flying. He's passing his examinations each year, and he's in a very good position to hopefully pass his final exams and go on to have a career. And he's become a real inspiration for other street children. He pays back by going out to talk to them and say, look, I used to sleep there, I used to sit there, look at me now, to try and help other people overcome their challenge. Now the next boy, he's closer to home. He's from London. It's called Reese. And when he was at school, he was being bullied. And he just didn't know how to cope with it. So he decided to face his challenge, but he decided to face it in the wrong way. He decided to replicate what was happening to him. So instead of trying to get help, support, work around the challenge, he just replicated it. And in his own words, he said, I stopped trusting everybody in my life, even his parents, because nobody could stop this happening to me. So I stopped trusting people and I became evil. Never had a child say that in my presence before. Said he became evil. He ended up getting excluded from school, being in a really bad place. But eventually, he decided that he had to change as well. He had this challenge now. He was 13 years old. He was going nowhere. He was going to a centre. He was being written off. And he had to decide, was he going to keep banging his head against the wall, in this challenge in his life, or was he going to change? And he decided to change. Unfortunately enough for him, he found people that wanted to work with him, to help him. And he now, through the centre that he was working at, started to get into plumbing and electricity and so on, or electrician should I say. And he's now changed his life completely. He's 2 years into his 3-year apprenticeship, and he will have a fully fledged qualification very soon. And again, he is now working with other boys and girls, trying to show them that when challenges are thrown at their door, there's not just one way of dealing with it. They have to be adaptable, like that group 2 we talked about earlier. And then, I'm going to embarrass somebody in a second. You've got other types of challenges, because not all challenges are negative. You might have watched the London Marathon this week on TV. People, thousands of people, set themselves challenges per year. Now this particular person, I think their middle name is Crazy, because they do this. You've got to train for 2 years if you take this challenge. At the end of the 2 years of training, you don't even get to do it. You only get to do half of it. Imagine that. If I said to you, I want you to go next door now, I want you to learn this for 2 years, then you only get to do half of it at the end, until you've built up even more expertise. You have to do 30 hours per week of training, 500 laps of a swimming pool, 50 miles of running per week, and 250 miles of cycling per week. Somebody's actually set themselves that challenge. But it's another sign of how you can set challenges to enrich your life. Do you recognise who that is? It is Mr. Barnett. Obviously I need to have words with him about his mental state on that challenge, because clearly that's bonkers, isn't it, doing all of that? But you can see how people can embrace challenge as well to enrich their lives. And Sir's obviously chosen this, and I'm sure there's many other examples across our school. But however, or what type of challenge that comes to us, we have to decide how best to approach them. So you've got to decide your goals. What is the challenge? What is that goal you want to achieve? Focus on everything that's working, so you can do more of that. The things that are working and helping you to overcome it. Decide how and when to do it, so plan. Don't just stick your head in the ground and think you'll be able to overcome it. Decide how you want to overcome that challenge. Nobody's been able to answer this one all week. Let's see if anyone in here can. Create balance every day. Anybody got any ideas what that might mean? In a way, yeah, in a way. In essence, do things you like doing. So don't just focus on your challenge. If you've got a challenge to take part in, can't just think about that all the time. You've got to think about other things as well. Do things that you enjoy doing, like playing football, play a bit of football. Make sure you've got time for yourself in there. Improve on yesterday. If we always improve on who we are from the day before, what we've done, we're making progress. But finally, don't give up. Never give up. The stories that we've just heard about Lennox and Reese at the beginning, they gave up. And they probably caused themselves some heartache and pain that was unnecessary until they realised that there were different ways to overcome their challenge. A short video clip now that I'd like you to watch.
What we do in life, there goes an eternity.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it.
Life is scary. Get used to it. There are no magical fixes. It's all up to you.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
some humdrum job that I don't really want to be at. Doing some minuscule task, getting paid to be a mindless drone. You know, am I out there living life on my terms, the way I want to live, doing things that I want to do?
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We're all meant to shine as children. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same, as we are liberated from our own fear.
Sometimes you have to save your own life. Nobody's gonna be here to save you for you. So we have to do what we have to do, no matter what it is.
Now, if you know what you're worth, then go on and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards, because that ain't you. You're better than that.
Okay, some inspirational words there from a great scholar of the 1980s, Rocky Balboa. If none of you know who that is, maybe you should go and Google it. Very inspirational man for many of the teachers in the room. But some of the words there that we used link into this. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. Are you somebody that is afraid? Got our motto there. Look at the process of the words. To have courage, to challenge themselves, to achieve success. Or do you blame things? It's what's happening at home. The school's too strict. This is happening. Or do you challenge yourself and have that inner belief and passion to go out there and grasp what you want? Are you leading your life as you wish to lead it to get what you want from it? And only you can answer that question. So it's about you. 90% of how you react to things will determine who you become and how successful you will be. So, let's see how they face their challenge. Could you all come down to the front, please, and create one line along here for me, quickly? Come on, guys, quick as you can, please. Explain to them what you've just done.
You said, hello, good morning. Today I have learned a little bit of sign language. Have a good day.
Now, last week we heard about some people's lives, and I thought, wow, that's amazing. So when I was thinking about this assembly, I thought, how can I challenge you? And let's draw on some people's skills from our school. So we have somebody, obviously, who's got a wonderful skill, and these people, and all week we have now trained around about 50 students to be able to do that in sign language, which I think is absolutely remarkable. So well done for taking your bush tucker trial this morning, and well done on doing that. You're going to see. Thank you to L'Oreal all week working with our groups. Well done. Okay, just to finish off, talked about challenge today. The one thing that I hope that you remember from today's assembly is that it's you, nobody else. And all you've got to do on a daily basis when you get up is challenge yourself. And challenge yourself to be better than you were the day before. And if you can do that, you can hold your head up high and you will be successful. Our quiz this week. I want you to tell us about yourself. I want to know more about these wonderful stories. So I want you to write a passage to tell us about your challenges. Challenges either that you faced or challenges that you are facing. How you're dealing with it and what you're doing about it. And I hope that we get some inspirational stories that we can share with the rest of our community and have published on the wall as well. Okay, thank you very much for listening this morning.
Thank you, Mr. Mallin. It's an outstanding assembly. Very much. I have a number of certificates to award people who have risen to challenges and have done amazing things in school. So the first one is a principal's commendation. This is to someone who has continually, throughout the academic year, worked very hard, done the right thing, been an outstanding ambassador for the school. Okay, so if you please give a round of applause to Pratique. I've also got a number of certificates for students who have participated recently in the Jack Petchey Speak Out Challenge. So they've worked very hard. They've gone to the Ursuline School and participated in a debate, a challenge against other schools. So it's really well done to those. And they are Salomon, please come out, Shauna, and Danica.
There it goes.
Sorry, I've been there. And another principal's commendation. This one goes to Savita, well done, Savita. Okay, Mr. Mullen's very correct in that we've all risen to a lot of challenges this year. A lot of you have worked very hard, and a lot of you in Year 11 are beginning to see the impact of that. I was really pleased to hear today that the English results are looking, and we're on track to smash last year's results and do really well, as a testament to your hard work and the hard work of your English teachers. So I'm really pleased about that. Just to finish today, can I ask Vinkita to come up and read the homily? Can I ask the rest of you to bow your heads, please?
This is the time when we spend a few moments in quiet reflection, according to our own personal beliefs or growth, thinking about the individual contribution that we can make to our academy. We ask for the strength and the courage to be a good citizen, to respect others and to practice courtesy, consideration and cooperation so that we may